Hey, everybody. SSA broadcast live from the 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame with the great George Bliss.
Clincher, baby, let's go. Let's go. Let's play some softball.
So the reason for our impromptu broadcast today is that we wanted to be able to let you guys know about a new thing the SSA broadcast is bringing forward, and that's going to be the GEO and George Bliss weekly podcast show.
I thought of the logo. I'm getting paid for it, but we're at the Hall of Fame, and we're having a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Lots of things happening.
Yeah, there is. But today the point is, again, you see I got my Loyola Rambler hat on. But the point of today's announcement is just to let you guys know that we're going to be launching this weekly podcast show. And it should be a lot of fun. We're going to have interviews from various people in the softball community. We're going to be talking softball. We might have some rumor mill stuff going on and all kinds of fun stuff. And, of course, we'll keep you guys updated on all things SSA moving forward, tournament information, locations, other neat stuff we're working on. So it's going to be a weekly endeavor with my good friend George Bliss.
Really? I'm coming here every week? You're kidding. I like to watch the people that tune in, like my good friend Billy Kavanaugh. Hi, Bill, and hi, everybody tuning in. You know, we get a lot of viewers in California.
They're all over. I mean, the support, George, that we're getting, our Facebook page now is over 4,700, approaching
4,700.
Right. It's approaching close to 4,800. I believe followers are a little bit higher than that. We should be cracking the 5K mark pretty soon. So if you're out there and you like a lot of the stuff we do, especially if you're a fan of big ball or 16-inch softball, spread the word, tell your friends to like our page. And we're going to be doing a lot of great stuff, I think, this winter. As most of the people know, I'm also a member of the board for the Hall of Fame. And, with the current voting going on for the next group of inductees, hopefully once we find out who gets inducted, we'll be doing some interviews with them. And so we got a lot of neat stuff that we got in the pipeline, as they say.
Hey, again, a lot of teams nominated this year. And this year, I think they had more paperwork than the federal government. They had quite a few teams coming in, right? And all of a sudden, teams are finding us after 5 years of broadcasting this gorgeous building. Now people are saying, wow, I played that game. I wasn't that good, but our team played for years. So that it's been a boost in the Hall of Fame's recognition, don't you think, the team recognition?
Yeah, I do. And I get a lot of teams that ask me, hey, how does our team get recognized? Well, the first thing you got to do is go to the Hall of Fame website.
Right.
If you search Chicago 16-inch Hall of Fame, it'll pop up. You have to fill out an application. I know a lot of people don't know how the process works, but you really do need to fill out an application about your team, and you can see what the requirements are. But we're always looking for teams, especially like you said, George, that have been around for a long time, that are still playing in the game. And that's always one of the fun things is at the dinner is when we get a chance to see a lot of the teams. We normally try to get them in for a private showing at the Hall of Fame, which is sponsored by the SSA. And we generally like to let them see the Hall of Fame. And when you start hearing about generations of people playing on the same team and their kids and everything else, it's really kind of neat.
You know, our good friend Dana Kozlov, Channel 2, she did a show recently on a team on the north side that's been playing 50 years called the Aces. That's just one example. And I don't know where the process is in the paperwork, but I always say, we talk to the people, be patient. There's a lot of people trying to get in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to be very frank. It's not easy to get in the Hall. You know, you got to come over, fill out the paperwork, get to know some of the board members. This is a very tight-knit club that takes their softball very seriously. And, to get into this hall is quite an honor.
Well,
it really is.
Again, let's make sure we're keeping everything clear. Teams is an honor.
Yes.
So what you're doing is you get recognized by the Hall of Fame, and your team does get
Beautiful
something
plaques.
that commemorates that. I know a lot of guys think they're actually inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it's more of an honor.
It's a recognition.
But
yeah.
let's face it, it's a pretty big deal.
It is.
It's a real big deal because, there have been a lot of great teams and a lot of great players that have come through the Hall of Fame and been honored by the Hall of Fame. And when you think of the thousands and thousands of teams that have played this game, there's really only quite a few of them, a small percentage of them that get that opportunity. So it's pretty neat. And, it's always fun to see them at the dinner because they really enjoy it. And it's just a great time.
Would you say 2018 was one of the better SSA years with all the movement we did between Oak Lawn and Wheeling? Maybe you want to recap that because they had unbelievable tournaments all summer.
Well, we did. We now have 6 national championship tournaments. Yeah, I think George is missing a thumb there, but 6. Yeah, that's right. SIX, 6. So we had a Class B national championship team that was high energy.
Got it.
We had the Class A no glove national championship tournament, which was the Donuts
In Oak Lawn.
in Oak Lawn. The B national championship was in Melrose Park.
Yes.
We then also had a Class A glove national championship
Carroll
tournament that was in Carroll Stream. And as you know, George, that is in fact the biggest 16-inch national championship tournament in the country. And
40 plus teams every year.
well, close to 40 just about every year. I think we had 39 and this year, and we had a couple of teams that had to drop out late, and we had a couple of teams that called us late. So we could have easily been at 44, 45 this year.
Smack out.
Smack Out won that national championship. They played great. And that was, again, a great tournament. We also had the 16-inch major national championship tournament, which was in Wheeling.
Yep.
And big surprise this year, of course, Signature won. That's not a big surprise. They're an
Eric
excellent,
Davis, MVP.
excellent Eric Davis, excellent softball team. But the big surprise was a first-time entry, the Psychopaths from California.
That's Gabe Vega and the boys.
And Turk
Muller,
Allen, and they came in and they finished second. Was a little bit of a surprise. I think everybody here in Chicago doesn't think there are people in other parts of the country that can play, but the Psychopaths sure blew that myth up.
Hey,
And
the big story there for me and Matt Dozen was it literally rained from day to night, and we played with not a hitch. Gorgeous fields. I just want to say hi to Wheeling. It took the water like a sewer foundation, and we played through, and no one got hurt.
Yeah, our girl
Incredible
Katie,
place, Wheeling.
Yeah, Katie out there did a great job, and their whole staff was wonderful. But again, that was a long weekend. It rained
was.
on us every day, and we didn't finish until about midnight on Sunday. And then it rained, and if you go back and you look at the live video from the award presentation, fortunately they had built that little shelter this year out there, and we were able to go under there and do the awards and things like that. So it was a long weekend, but the softball was terrific. And, hats off to Signature, Sal Milazzo. They were fantastic all weekend and deserved to win. So that's 4 of them, but we still had more because at Wheeling, we also had the women's 16-inch national championship tournament. First time ever. And that was won by the Hangovers.
Right.
And they went clean. It was a double elimination tournament, and they really were fantastic. And it was a pleasure to have them come out. And we learned a few things running the event for the first time. We're hoping to do it again next year. And I think that it should gain in popularity.
I watched that game on the field, and the shortstop for the winners probably is going to be starting next year for one of the major teams. She was that good. I mean, really, the girls played quite well. And I just want to mention it. They played with no gloves, so just keep that in mind. Real softball.
Well, I got to tell you, George, here's an SSA trivia contest for all you people out there. Who's the only woman to ever play in an SSA event?
Was that on the? You're talking on the major side?
No, we ran the Egg Zarnik tournament a few years back, and she jumped in and played on a team.
Did she play for the Raiders?
No, she did not.
You got me. You stumped me.
It was Susie Cusack,
Oh!
Kevin Cusack's sister. She played a little second base in that tournament.
What team?
I'm not sure what
Okay.
that team was called that day because it was an open roster, but it was pretty interesting.
Maybe Richie Bettistoni knows,
I don't know about that.
or Chrissy Rieger.
So, anyways, moving along, our final national championship tournament that we ran last year was at Melrose.
Old guys.
It was the old guys, 50 and over.
Yeah.
And Crush Softball won that. And that
110
was
degree weather.
well, no, the weather was a little bit. It wasn't
It's
quite that
110
hot.
degrees in the sun.
Well, it was okay in the shade.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, so we had 6 national championship tournaments, which last year the 2 new ones were the women's and the No Glove A national championship. Of course, 2 years ago we started the Class B national championship events. So basically, George, any way you want to play 16-inch softball, the SSA really has you covered. Glove, no glove. And again, our events tend to be pretty popular, and it seemed like everybody enjoyed them.
Yeah.
We really expanded the live streaming of games. So we were doing a game of the week, which a lot of weeks turned into games plural. And so people seem to really enjoy those games of the week. We'll be continuing that next year. Of course, we taped all of the championship games from not only our events, but the other events that actually completed. Last year we had a lot of rain out here. So as a result of that, we're trying to create a little history for you guys so that there's a historical record. We tried to expand the Game Changer a little bit more last year. We're going to continue to do that. And of course, me and George have got a lot of tricks up our sleeve as we're going to be getting some additional equipment. So some of our games of the week and some of our broadcasting next year should be really spectacular. And again, a lot of that due to the sponsorship of Ray Zarnik and Napleton Chrysler Dodge Jeep out of River Oaks. Can't say it enough, folks. If you need a car, head over there. Ray's a good guy. He's helped a lot of guys in softball, but he makes a lot of what we do possible. Of course, Ray's also a sponsor, will be a sponsor, and is a sponsor of our weekly podcast that's coming along. So we're always looking for new ways to make 16-inch softball fun and more accessible. And a lot of this started years ago, folks, before we had the capabilities of live streaming, when this guy used to do the softball hotline.
On telephone, an old
telephone.
dial, where you dial the phone. Hey, speaking of Ray Zarnik, he runs his teams up in the Northern Summers primarily. His team, the Rogues, they just won the Park Ridge Fall League, Ray Zarnik. So Ray not only is a great sponsor, but he's in there playing at the high level still. So congratulations to Ray on his sponsorship and his ability to still groove the ball in there and, win some games.
Yeah, Ray does a lot more for the game than people realize.
Right.
Also, I think this past year, which was pretty neat, was Carlos Castleberry, who started to try to bring a softball newspaper back.
Yeah.
And, of course, Carlos involved with us running the No Glove A National Championship tournament that we ran. And, we try to support Carlos in that endeavor as well. And that seems to be pretty popular. He's got it up, so we anticipate Carlos will be expanding the newspaper a little bit and making that a little bit more widely available. So overall, George, I think 2018 was a pretty good year, I think. Oh, and I almost forgot, we also had Ron Matriciano's tournament out in
Las Vegas.
And, of course, that went well. That's always popular. So
March came all the way back. Lost
yeah,
game one, came
March
all the way back.
through the losers bracket. Lost the
Unbelievable
first
team.
game to Thunder 4-1, and came all the way back and double dipped.
Scott Hordecki, MVP.
And so they did very well. So I think that 2018 was a pretty good year for 16-inch softball. I think, for the SSA, it was a very successful year, launching 2 new events. And, we also helped Mickey Balestri bring back his Kickoff Classic. Frank Arenas also ran Cinco de Mayo. We also had the North-South B play-in tournament, and Danny Atkins at the North-South held a couple of spots open for the top 2 finishers. So the SSA was pretty much out there almost every weekend doing something. We covered the Claude Rhodes. We live streamed from Garfield Park for Charlie Talbert's tournament out there. And of course, we also did the Washington Park 2 championship games for their playoffs. And last but not least, we helped CPS, George, with a little bit. So we got them in high school all the way up to you old guys out there.
The first time ever the game was played right here at Forest Park, won by Lane Tech over Solorio. We want to say hi to Eddie Curry. But going forward, CPS, you're going to see them right here on SSA broadcasts, on YouTube, on the stream, and everywhere you want to find the internet. We're here. We're everywhere. We're on 3 networks at one time.
Well,
True.
Well, and we got more coming, folks, like I said. So if you like what we do, go ahead and like the page, our SSA Facebook page. It's fantastic. We're just picking up new likes every day. And more importantly, if anybody's got a feeling to get involved and you want to get more involved with helping to grow 16-inch softball, reach out to us. The email address is info, I-N-F-O, at SSAsoftball.com. Again, info at SSAsoftball.com. And, it doesn't matter. Look, behind the scenes, folks, it's a lot of work. And I wouldn't lie to you and tell you it isn't. We're all softball geeks. We love softball. So, for us, it's a passion. But if you want to get involved, even if you can't devote the type of time that some of us do, even if you want to get involved with specific events or if you have an idea about an event, we're always willing to jump in and help. And for those of you that may have charity events or other events, we're more than welcome to always come and call us. We're always willing to help with that, as we did with Jimmy Moretti's tournament for Dana Strong, which was a great event, and we'll be involved with Jimmy next year on that as well, and for the fundraiser for Woody and his family that was held down in Bourbon Street. So we're always willing. We were out at Melrose for the Wounded Warrior tournament they ran. So if you have an event like that, give us a call or email us, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you about that, because George, as you know, I'm always talking about how kind-hearted and generous the 16-inch softball community is and how we pull together. And it's one of the things that 16-inch people we take great pride in, which reminds me, Chubbs doing a Christmas with a Cause December 1st. It's a toy drive.
McGaffers.
It's a toy drive here at McGaffers.
A lot of softball players there.
Right off the corner of Roosevelt and Des Plaines. It's December 1st, 3 to 11. They're going to have food. They're going to have drink specials, raffles. So if you get a chance, get out there. And if you can't make it December 1st, they will accept any toy donations. Again, unwrapped toys are what they're looking for. We put the flyer up this week. So if you're looking to help out this holiday season, there's a lot of people less fortunate than we are. And part of what we do here at SSA is not just softball, but we realize there's more to life than just playing
any toys you have
softball.
that are wrapped, send them to me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'll be out there on December 1st.
Yeah, but I might have a Loyola game, but I'll be there afterwards.
We'll see you there then. Okay.
See you there. And
right.
George, why should they keep playing 16-inch softball?
Play softball. It's the greatest game in the world. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Okay, I'm going to reach across to click off, but thanks very much, and we'll see you soon.